There we go. I'm Megan. It's so great to meet all of you. Go ahead if you feel so inclined in the chat to say hi. Tell us where you're from. I always love to know where people are joining us from. I apologize to the West Coasters, but I know it's a little early for you, but the East Coasters, it just starts to get too late. So I I try to find some sort of middle ground. Recordings are always available. Oh, Natalia, you're up in Seattle. Okay, well, you're on the West Coast with me here. I'm just down in Portland. So thanks for joining a little bit early. All right. Okay. Well, everybody else, when they have a chance, they can pop in and say hi and where they're from. Awesome. And we are going to share our screen. Oh, Samantha, you're in Texas. Hello, hello. Fabulous. All right. Beautiful. Okay, you guys. So I'm just going to dive in because we do have a handful of things for us to talk about. We're going to dive into all the nitty gritty and the good stuff here. So um, I am going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of who I am. Oh, Tiffany, you're up in Newfoundland. Amazing. I had a business coach who is originally from Newfoundland and another friend in here in Portland who's from Newfoundland. So that's what a small world. I always get told by them that nobody knows what Newfoundland is. And here we are. Yes. Yeah, my friend Julie, and then I have a business coach I worked with for a little bit. That's where he was originally from too. So, small world. There we go. Another Newfoundlander. Newfoundlander. Is that how you say it? All right, you guys. So today we are going to talk about growing your myofunctional therapy businesses. Okay. Now, before I dive in, I will say that this is my experience. Okay. So this is my experience. This is my experience over the past 8 years. This is my experience in, being in the field where we started and we weren't even talking about posterior tongue ties. And now we even changed the name of posterior tongue tie to a mid-tongue restriction. So I have been in it for almost a decade. And, what I want you guys to be able to take away from today is kind of figure out where you're at and where you want to be. Like your goals do not have to match my goals. I'm going to speak a little bit to my goals and my background and why um, I wanted to grow my brand the way that I have and continue to do so. And partnering with some other groups along the way. So I want you guys to be able to take away kind of the best tips for you and what you can implement to start creating more in your business. So here is who this wonderful workshop webinar is for. All right, this training for you if you are a solo practitioner with a healthcare business. Now, I do have a focus on moms. I am a single mom. You guys will hear all about Isabel, the world's greatest 3-year-old known to man. You guys will get to hear about her, I'm sure, quite a bit during this workshop. So I will, I will hold back now. But yes, you're a solo practitioner in a healthcare business. You want to increase your revenues. You want to be able to find time for balance in your family and the rest of your life, not necessarily just be a business workaholic forever, spinning your own wheels. You want to learn how to create more sales in your business. A lot of times, I'll throw this in here. You don't want to, gosh, like trade necessarily one 9 to 5 for the other, or stack on top of a 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, 7 to 4, whatever your dental office might be, right? It's like, okay, now I've taken on this new business, this new thing, and now I have to work double on top of that. I'm wanting to get more time with for myself and my family and my kids and my balance, but now I've just piled more things on and you feel like you're juggling it all and then you're just like dropping every single ball or feel like you're constantly failing because you can't give everything your attention, right? So this is definitely for you if you feel like you've been caught in that trap of, trying to grow your business, but you can't leave your 9 to 5, you can't spend more time with your family, and it's just like there's just not really anything in between. So, um, if you are wanting to succeed, obviously in your business, if that's what that's what you're here for, you're wanting to get success in your business. So this is not for you. If you found the perfect work-life balance, I'm still working on that myself. If you've figured out how to make as much money as you want to make in your business, you're good with how much you're earning, or if you're not really interested in growing. So these are, this bad boy is not for you, because this is where we're going to talk about growth. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. And I will tell you guys, we've got some real life testimonials here. So Bernalia, she's with Elite Myofunctional Therapy. She's based out of Houston. Um, these were her results. She loved working with us in Business Boot Camp. In the first month, I was able to increase my income 3 times. It's doubled each month thereafter. This has been the best investment in my myofunctional business journey. Be forever grateful. And actually, Bernalia posted in a myofunctional therapy group, Facebook group that has about 900 people in it, that she got to leave her dental hygiene career at the end of last year. So when I started talking to Bernalia, I told her, I said, what if you could leave dental hygiene in 3 months? And she said, there's no way. And she did. She was like, maybe 6 months, maybe. And she left after in 3 months after finishing business boot camp, because she was just obviously too busy, which was amazing. Those are always my most fun, when people have these dreams and they're like, I want to be able to take my family on vacation, not worry about the cost of everything. I want to be able to leave my 9 to 5 or leave my dental hygiene. I want more freedom in my life and my business, and they get to do it, right? And they just absolutely, they crush it. They do the work and they get to see the results, which is so cool. And we've had multiple be able to do this. All right. So here's what we're going to learn today. All right. The secret that changed my business. My biggest thing, you guys, that I tell you, and that I tell you, anybody who works with me, is I don't hide anything. Okay. There's no vagueness. There's no, there's no beating around the bush. I say probably a lot of things I shouldn't say, but I say them anyways. Get myself getting myself ranting on the internet, get myself in trouble. Not really in trouble, but like, I say things that other people would never say, and that's because I want you guys to be successful. And the more successful you are, the more successful I am, the more successful the field that we're in, that we're fighting for, is successful. And I very much believe in the crowns all around philosophy and mindset. So I've had multiple people in my local Portland area that I have mentored, that have been my associates, that have either done coaching or gone through business boot camp with me. And not only have their businesses have grown, but so has mine. So them being successful has not stopped me from being successful at all. Okay. And then the practical tips to grow your business to whatever level you desire. Okay. Um, again, take what works for you and make it your own, right? I'm not asking you to come be me. I'm not asking you to like say crazy things on the internet. I'm not asking you to put yourself out there in front of people. But really, whatever you like take away from this, what works for you, and like go nuts, okay? And then how to grow your business as high as you want to, okay? So afterwards today, for coming live, we've got a freebie. We made this for you. We made you a workbook, okay? That way you will get this free PDF with everything we covered, all right, how we grew it, and then also a little journal on that can keep you accountable. So what steps can you take today? I want you to be able to have a place where you can write it down and come back to, because, workshops and webinars, learning's great, doing's better, okay? You can learn all day, all that you want. You can take every course under the sun, but you don't make money by osmosis. You don't make money by learning. You don't have a successful practice by learning. You have it by doing, taking what you learn and doing, and not being afraid to do it. There's no such thing as failure. It's one of like the worst things I've ever heard in my life, and it's one of those things that I'm really trying to accept as a type A entrepreneur, mom, like you like this idea of like there's no such thing as failure. Everything's an experience. You're learning by trial and error, but you're never going to learn if you don't do, right? There has to be an actual trial and error process. There actually has to be, you have to be able to do it, and you have to put yourself out there. And sometimes that's scary, and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. But the only way that you could ever actually fail is if you don't try, right? And I think there's like a Yoda quote around that or something, right? And, or who knows where the quote came from, but we have to do it. Okay. And so that's why I'm giving you practical tips. We're giving you the freebie afterwards to give you everything that you could possibly need to go out and be successful. Okay. So here is my no fluff, no bullshit promise. All right. No BS promise. Sorry. You will leave here, okay, with the tools to increase your revenue, right? You will leave here with a blueprint. You will leave here feeling like, okay, I actually have some real life tangible things that I can go do tomorrow and create something and figure out a way to create more in my business and really grow my practice the way that I want to. Okay. So a little bit about me. There she is. Looks just like me. All right. So I'm Megan Vanoy. I already said I am the mom to Isabel. She was born in February 2021. Our birthdays are 3 days apart. Honestly, couldn't have planned it any better than that, even though she was a surprise. So here we are. I founded Not Just a Mom after she was born because I really felt like I lost my identity, which I'll talk about my story. Founder of Northwest Myofunctional Therapy in 2016. Kind of one of the OGs around here, and I also created the Business of Being a Boss program, so some formerly known as Business Bootcamp, as you guys may have heard. Last year, I launched it. Like I said, I've been around a long time, and I've been in the mentoring space, I've been in the coaching space, I've been in the practicing space, and people have, I have mentored a lot of myofunctional therapists, and I have 5 associates in my practice that I mentor. And I can tell you, because I have been around a long time and I have been in and around and a part of many of the introductory courses, the biggest thing that's missing from any of them, which is not their fault because that's not what they're saying they teach, is actually being successful on the business side of things. Okay. It's the business piece that really holds people back, how much to charge, what to do, what do you do if a patient wants a payment plan? What do you do? What do you, if somebody has a sales objection? What do you actually, how do you actually do the business? How do you go create referrals? How do you create that referral network? What do you say? How do you actually close the sale and the treatment plan? How do you not feel gross about sales? Right? How do you ask people for money? How many of you guys like asking people for money? Yeah, no one, right? That's part of being a business, right? That's part of sales. Even though it's healthcare, it's still sales. And um, you are not here to serve people for free. I know that's been a big thing talking in the educational space lately in a lot of the Facebook groups of like expecting educators to give things away for free. I think that's really a disservice, especially for those who do have a lot of free resources and a lot of opportunities. Um, but everybody deserves to be successful in their business and make money. That is what we're here for. Yes, we're here to help people. And when you have a heart of service behind what you sell, then it doesn't matter, right? You are not responsible for other people's pocketbooks. You're responsible for your own. You're not responsible for what you think people can and can't afford. That is up to them where they want to spend their money. People are always going to spend money. They're either going to spend it with you or they're going to spend it with someone else. So why not you? Why not you to support your family, right? So I created a business course to bring everything together, help people grow in their businesses, leave their dental hygiene practices if they want to, or break down the time. Again, your business should be designed around you and what you want to do. And so Business of Being a Boss program helps you decide that because everybody's goals are different, right? Business coach, a mentor, I'm a speaker. I've been speaking at conferences. I just spoke in Miami, and I also just hosted a retreat in Puerto Vallarta for the Business of Being a Boss graduates, and we really helped them grow and scale their businesses even further, which was so cool. All right, so here's kind of my story. Here's my chops. Here's my background. Here's why this is also important to me. I grew up in a home where we were encouraged to find a career where you could support yourself because you never know what could happen, right? You can't rely on anybody to pay your bills except for yourself, right? And that is that really stuck with me, right? And that's part of why I chose dental hygiene. That dental hygiene would be this really solid job um, that had this opportunity for growth and financial freedom, the ability to help others, that it aligned with motherhood. I mean, how many of you guys were told that? That like being a dental hygienist is the perfect job if you want to be a mom, right? You have flexible schedule. How many of you have ever actually had a flexible hygiene schedule? Like, no. I mean, the assistants I work with, the hygienists I work with, who had kids, they were never able to drop them off at school. They barely were able to get them to the bus, right? Because we had patients at 7 or 8. We were barely able to ever, they never got to pick them up after school. They barely were able to go to their after school programs. Like, couldn't even get lunch half the time, right? So I learned quickly it was not the, that's not the dream. That's not what it was meant to be. So I actually did a deep dive. I wanted to specialize, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go back to school. Okay, I did not want to go back to school. I just graduated school. I just graduated dental hygiene school. I was still traumatized, right? So I found myofunctional therapy on a Craigslist ad, which back in 2000, like 14, 15, when I was looking, um, like that's where you found jobs. That's where you found things. Like it was that or like Monsters. Like Indeed didn't exist. I don't even know how people find jobs now, but I think mostly Indeed. But yeah, these things didn't exist. And so here we are in Craigslist trying to find a new dental hygiene job because the office I was at was wild. And oh, that's the after hours stories right there. But decided, found this Craigslist ad. Do you want to be able to make more money? Do you want to be able to help your patients in a deeper way? Do you want to be able to like have the freedom in your life you always wanted kind of thing, right? And so I was like, yes, this is me. This is what I'm looking for. It's like without having to go back to school. Yes, this is me. This is what I'm looking for, right? And so I decided I wanted to specialize and pursue my own business. All right. So in 2016, I founded my first company, Northwest Myofunctional Therapy, which unexpectedly blossomed into a six-figure business within 3 years. Um, but balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship became a huge challenge after becoming a mom. Okay, here's the deal. Now more than ever, moms want to be able to run their businesses and be present for their families, right? You want to be able to do both, and you should be able to do both, and there's no reason why you can't do both. We want to be able to have it all and not have to sacrifice ourselves in every area to get there and feel like we're failing, right? We have to understand, and understanding my worth and my value are not the same thing. Okay. My worth is never in question. Your worth has never been in question, and your value is priced accordingly. Selling is of service. You can make the money that you want, right? I can make the money I want doing what I love without losing myself, my family, or my business. And for a while, I felt like I lost it all. Okay. Because when I became pregnant, all right, like this little cutie, she was only like a week or two old. Look at all that hair. So crazy now. She has long hair now. It goes down to the top of her like pull-up line. Yeah, so long. It's very hard to brush. And she doesn't like it. So, I'm raising myself over here. All right. So when I became pregnant, I joined forces with my mentor, thinking it would allow me more balance and freedom after being a new mom. But after 3 weeks of maternity leave, I was told I had to come back or I wouldn't be paid what we agreed for me to be paid. So I was struggling to breastfeed. I actually almost split out 5 weeks postpartum because I had retained placenta and I had no choice but to keep seeing patients. I almost had to have an emergency surgery if I didn't stop passing those golf ball sized clots, right? So every day, I mean, honestly, every day I felt like I was failing. I wanted to heal. I wanted to be with my baby. I needed to make money. I spiraled into postpartum depression and anxiety, and most days I could barely do anything beyond just my patient care and spending time with Izzy. Wasn't taking care of myself, wasn't taking care of my home. Like that was the capacity in which I could function. And to be honest, every single day I dreamed of running away with Isabel to Tropical Island somewhere, just the two of us. like where I had no responsibilities, where I didn't have to worry about anything, like it could just be us and no noise, right? And so I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know how I was going to keep surviving. I had a mentor and a business partner who was never there, a partner at home who was always gone. And honestly, after a year of just trying to survive, I decided I couldn't do it anymore. And when Izzy turned 1, I just felt like I had missed her entire first year. Like I just felt like, I missed so much of it because I'm upstairs in my childhood bedroom seeing patients while my mom's downstairs taking care of my baby while my partner was supposedly working out of town. Who knows what he was doing? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And I just felt so alone and I had no support. And every time I reached out to my mentor, to my business partner, um, who's well known in the field, it was basically like, I'm too busy. I'm going through too much drama with this other group I'm working with. Like, you're not making me enough money to care about you. This is someone that I had like given 6 years to, right? And to hear that, to feel that, to know that, I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't take it. So even though it was scary, I decided to leave and relaunch my myofunctional therapy practice and start over. It was scary. It was hard. I was threatened. I had to get a lawyer. My reputation was being talked about. Relationships I had were being ruined, being lied about. But I pushed on, knowing that I had a 1-year-old daughter to take care of. And within 30 days, I was back up $10,000 months, and within 90 days, up to $20,000 plus months again. And I felt like I could breathe again. Then in September of 2022, my partner started spiraling. He became very unsafe. By November, our couples counselor told me in an individual session that she believes he has spiraled and is a danger to myself and Isabel. Um, and I really found myself in an intimate partner violence relationship and had to get out. It got worse and worse and worse, and it took him 5 months to get out of my home because the police don't want to deal with domestic violence. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to address it. It didn't matter that he was threatening to kidnap my daughter. It didn't matter that he was threatening me. Um, and, and at the same time, I still had to take care of my daughter and my business. And despite being afraid for both our lives, the threat got bigger. The threats got bigger and scary. And finally enough that law enforcement had to get involved. So I was able to get us to safety. I was able to move us in less than 17 days. I was able to hire a lawyer and then be in this home that we are now, um, all because my business was successful, right? Not everybody gets to have a successful enough business. Financial abuse is a very much reality as well. So because of the success of my business, I was able to do that and get us to safety, and we were able to leave and we were able to be safe again. So during that year, after losing myself due to postpartum, slowly finding myself again, I knew I needed to help other moms like me. I knew I was still missing something, right? Purpose, passion, breaking to the next level. And I worked with a business coach in individual mastermind session, and Not Just a Mom came to life, and the Business of Being a Boss program was born last summer. I knew I wanted to help moms become financially independent, whether to help balance the load in their partnerships or to have the freedom they need to take care of themselves or leave relationships that aren't healthy and be okay. This is my like passion and purpose in life. I want all moms who own solo healthcare businesses to be financially independent. So I've been able to work with moms through my courses, group masterminds, retreats, one-on-one coaching, lots and lots of healing, lots and lots of therapy, and be able to use my experience and what happened to help other people, like my girl Kelsey. So Kelsey's an occupational therapist. You guys might know her. She's Be Well Tots. She was BeWell.ot and now she's Be Well Tots because her business grew so tremendously. She actually hired 3 associates after working with me. She's a mom from Philadelphia with 2 kids, private practice, working 5 days a week. She was earning 12 to 15K a month. In boot camp and working with me, she was able to earn 30K in 1 month, and she actually went on to hit 3 30K 3 30K months in a row. which was incredible. And so she was able to expand her practice. She was able to hire 3 associates on, and hire an SLP, a PT, and another OT, I believe, to really grow her practice and her dream, which was so cool. So here is what we are really going to focus on. We're going to dive in, you guys, okay? So we're going to talk about the best way to, some of my best tips here, right? The best way to learn is by taking what you know and implementing, right? Do not undervalue what you sell. Learn how to nurture your referral relationships and maintain them. This is honestly, I think, one of the biggest, honestly, I think these three are three of the biggest stumbling blocks that I see when people are like lagging and struggling, okay? Knowing how you're going to present your offers, all right? And then if you really want to get up to the top and more, creating a monthly recurring revenue. So grab out your pens, your notebooks, take notes, take screenshots, whatever you guys need. I'm actually going to start with my, like, just the secret, okay? This is the number one thing that I could ever tell you. Do not wait. You do not need more and more and more trainings. You do not need 4 intro myo courses, okay? The best way to learn is by taking what you know and implementing. You cannot out-educate implementation, okay? This is like one of my biggest rants. You do not have to have it perfectly figured out, okay? I know it's really hard as perfectionists and type A people. We feel like we have to have everything perfect because what if people judge us? Who cares? People judge everything no matter what, so who cares, right? You just have to put it into action. You know more than the people that you're talking to. You know more than your patients. You know more than your referral sources because you have taken the courses, right? You can change things as you go. You can change things as you grow. You can find a mentor who's been where you've been, help you accelerate more quickly. Investing in shortcuts, all right? Investing, right? Investing in shortcuts may seem like a big cost up front, but it can save you thousands in both dollars and hours, right? So keeping up with the field you're in, but you don't keep taking courses without taking action. There's not a course with the perfect secret. The secret is to just do it, okay? So tip number 1. Tip number 2, very quickly, this is actually the first thing we talk about in the Business Community Boss program because this is so, so, so important, is building your referral network, okay? If you want people to come in your door, you have to tell them your door is open, right? You have to, you gotta let people know you're open for business. You gotta let people know you're accepting referrals. You've got to start creating the people around you, right? We've got to start creating everything that we need. You have to create your business relationships. You have to create your referrals. Now, if you're working in a dental practice, your referrals are right in front of your face every single day, right? Now that you know what you look for and you can't unsee it, you can self-refer. As long as you're in agreement with the doctor's okay with that, you can self-refer. Do not be afraid to take your knowledge and your education and put it out there. Okay? Build your referral network. Find your people around you. They don't have to necessarily be perfect. Okay? I'm a big fan of partnering with orthodontists. I don't care if they're airway focused or not. They've got mouth breathing tongue thrusters up in there. I'm going to work with them because it's not about them or their philosophies. It's about you helping the patient and guiding them alongside of it. So build your referral network. Get out there, get in front of people. Don't be afraid. Okay? What's the worst that can happen? Somebody says no or doesn't call you back. Okay, we move on to the next. Don't take it personal. We move on to the next. Build your referral network. Okay? Find a mentor, right? Partner as an associate. Learn from them, right? There's lots of people who hire associates, and I want to make sure you do get paid because I know there's people out there who don't pay their associates, and I don't think that's right at all. Again, I've been in the field for a long time. I know too much. I'm like Gretchen Wieners and Mean Girls, and my like hair holds all the secrets, right? But partnering with someone, learn from them. That's a great way to like ease your way in. Okay. Practice your skills on family and friends. My first patients, very first patient was my dad. Mild sleep apnea, got him to stop snoring. No more sleep apnea on a sleep test. Okay. My next two patients were my dental assistant, the dental assistant I work with, her two sons. And to this day, they're so grateful, right? And they did amazing and they were so fun. They were two like preteen and teenage boys, and yet they were the best patients. And I gave a very steep discount, right? Of course. So, um, but it made me less afraid to see more people, right? The more you put one foot in front of the other, the less you're going to be afraid. Oh, well, there you go. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. See, look, I can just talk myself through these slides. Go into places, introduce yourself, give referral pads, start a social media account, post daily or every other day. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Join local studying clubs, networking groups, entrepreneur gatherings. Put yourself out there. Everybody else who's an entrepreneur, everybody else who owns a business, they all are putting themselves out there. Everybody feels the same way, okay? Everybody feels a little bit awkward. Everybody feels a little bit funky. Everybody feels like, oh my gosh, what if people don't understand me? Okay. Everybody feels the same way. Unfortunately, you're not a special snowflake in that one. All right. You are not alone in feeling weird and awkward at networking groups. Put yourself out there. That is one of the things that people do trip up the most about, I will say, is going into places and going into offices, introducing yourself. And I understand that like there's some front office gatekeepers. Uh, you know, we definitely talk a lot about that. In the Business of Being a Boss program, we talk a ton about that, but make friends with them, bring treats, make friends with them, get in cahoots, use your personality to your advantage, right? Get in cahoots. Hey, what do we got to do to get Doc to buy us lunch, right? Get in cahoots, get in there. Don't be afraid. Again, don't take things personally. They don't know you, right? They don't know you. Don't take things personally. If they're like weird or not a good fit, that just means that they weren't a good fit to begin with, right? I mean, did anybody like, if you have a significant other, did you like get on your first shot, right? There's very few out there who marry their high school sweethearts and it works out, right? You got to go through people, and that's okay. That's okay. All right, my girl Dana, you guys might know Dana. She's a mama too, a business owner from upstate New York. Business boot camps helped her simplify and streamline her new patient process so much. Oh yeah, we definitely did that. I've also learned how to get more referrals and nurture the referral sources I do have. Amen, hallelujah. I was steadily making 3 to 5K a month, with my highest ever being at 8K in a year. During business boot camp, I made over 15,000 in 1 month. Megan's methods work. She actually hit a $17,000 month as well. Not too far after that. Dana just took her family on vacation to the Florida Keys. Um, and she was able to pay for it and not worry about having to pay for any of the excursions. And she said, if it wouldn't have been for Business Boot Camp, I would have never been able to do this. This is the first family vacation we've been able to be on, because my business has been successful. So there you go. Take your family to the Florida Keys. Okay, so then once we can master those things, you guys, that 0 to 8,000 is going to come pretty quick. Okay, you guys saw in there from even the testimonials, right? Like the referrals, the referrals, the referrals, the referrals. Building up your referrals. Okay, you do not have to be a social media star. Do not hide behind the computer. Do not hide behind your phone. Get your cute face and your cute butt out there and start to make those connections. Once you have that, right, you only need 3 to 5 really solid referral sources. Okay, 0 to 8K is like 3 to 4 patients a month. And if it's not, your pricing is too low. Okay, I will be happy to rant about that if you guys need me to. And then when you're ready to take it to the next level, right, break that 10K mark. And honestly, these are my numbers. These are the numbers that I was at for a long time. Okay, that's why it's not 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. These are my real numbers. And this is where I was at for a while. Okay, that's why they're weird numbers, because they're mine and I'm telling you how I did it versus like some vague thing, right? So we're going to tell people what we do. All right, make sure your message is clear. Myofunctional therapy is confusing and we all know that. The other thing I will say about this is I do know that in a lot of ways, people are like, well, I can help everybody. Everybody is my patient. Everybody's my, yeah. But if you're for everybody, you are for nobody. Okay? If you are for everybody, you're for nobody. So maybe pick 2 to 3 avatars, 2 to 3 people in your head, right? You know, Jim is like the 40-something-year-old who's like clenching and grinding and is breaking teeth, right? You know, Susie is the 7-year-old who can't stop wetting the bed and has a tongue tie and has been in speech for 4 years, right? You know, um, Kelly's the mom who's in her 30s and is dealing with sleep issues and fatigue, and she's dealing with brain fog and she can't keep up with her kids, right? Figure out, you know, 2 to 3 of these people, right, who might be the type of patients that you want to work with. You can choose. I know in the beginning you don't feel like you can choose and you want anybody and everybody who's willing to take your money, but really you can choose the type of people that you want to work with. You can choose the age group, you can choose what type of symptoms they have, you can choose. And those patients will come to you because they'll see you because they know that you are for them. So pick 2 to 3 that you really want to see. Not saying you can't catch some outliers, you absolutely can, okay? But get really clear, all right? Everybody's favorite, least favorite tip for me, okay? Don't be afraid to sell yourself. That is the whole point of having a business. Selling is a byproduct of service. You are offering a service. No one is expecting it for free. I mean, some people are, but they suck and don't work with them, right? You provide a service, therefore you have to let people know there's something for sale. You have to get comfortable asking for money. You have to get comfortable knowing that you deserve the money. The amount of work that you're going to put in is going to change people's lives. Really, it's, you know, priceless, but we put a number on it, okay? You do not have to offer discounts. You do not have to bargain with people or haggle with people, right? You offer a really valuable service and you can help so much. So you should, all right? Whew. Here it is. Price your services appropriately. Do not undervalue what you sell. It does not matter if you are new. I am going to say that so sternly and so firmly. When you undervalue your prices, you attract the wrong people. So let me give you some examples. When I was in my former life working with my mentor, we had a graduate program where patients could sign up to work with students for a low price. And the students, it was like an internship, and they didn't, you know, the students didn't get paid. And those were the worst patients known to man. They were the only patients who didn't finish therapy, who didn't show up for their appointments, who were super needy because they wanted a discounted rate and they were discounted people. And it was really hard for those students. Whereas the patients who pay $4,500 to work with me, superstars, best patients I've ever worked with in my life, right? Because people will value when they have to invest. They've got to put their teeth in something. So if you are underselling, if you are having a myofunctional therapy program that's less than $2,000, you're doing yourself and everybody else a disservice. You are underselling. You are way underselling. We had a big discussion around this in the last round of Business Being a Boss program, and I had a few people really dig their heels in with this one on me, and then they raised their prices. And the next day, next week, I can't remember now. My girl Kayla, I love her. She she closed at her new full program, full range price. 3 people paid her in full, and she had like 2.5 times her pricing. She was way too low. Um, and you know, and she went on to have a $27,000 month. We had another who really struggled and balked at it and raised him up. And by the end of the boot camp, she raised him again. Because so Tiffany, for like a 12 session program, hmm you're not a naturopath. Don't compare yourself to other people. Do not compare yourself to other people. Canada might be a little bit different, but I would not be comparing yourself to what other people charge because you're not them, they're not you, your specialties are different. And honestly, they should probably take the program and charge more than that. So, just give them my card. We'll just raise everybody up there. Okay. Um, in the US, the average price should be about 200 per session. So that is, and here's the thing, okay? When people first like finish school, like dentists or doctors or anybody, when they first finish school, they don't have lower fees, right? Like they don't change their fees. A crown is a crown, a filling's a filling, a medical procedure is a medical procedure, right? They're not, oh, I'm new, and so I'm gonna be billing less. So for us to feel that way because we specialize, because the reality is you're not new. You've been a dental hygienist for how long? You're not new. You've just specialized further, right? You're not new. Okay. All right, make yourself an expert. Get really good. Position yourself as an expert in your area, right? You can start a YouTube channel, you can go live on Instagram, you can start a podcast, you can create a study club, a networking group, and be the leader, right? Position yourself as an expert, and people, when you make yourself an authority, people will trust you more, they will refer to you more, they will look to you more, and they will respect you more to pay the prices that you deserve. Okay? Find your people. All right? Find who your people are. Reach out in Facebook groups, go to conferences or events in your field, join Meetup. I don't know if Meetup's big in Portland, but I don't know if it is everywhere else, but create your own Meetup, right? Join an entrepreneur group. Find people who you can connect with because again, you're looking at creating referrals, right? Find your holistic people, find your people who understand that we're looking for root causes, right? Find out. Okay, so Kelly, my girl Kelly Bradshaw, Kansas City Myo Wellness. Um, Kelly's great. She taking the plunge and working with Megan has been such a game changer for my business. I've had some big ideas in my head for a while. Megan gave me the courage and technical how to finally do it. My business has grown so much because of it. I'm grateful for her and 1,000%, oh, Kel, 1,000% happy with her individual coaching services. Went from averaging around 13K a month to the biggest month ever, 29K. More importantly, she gave me the tools to do it again. Yeah, Kel said that a few times now. So again, it's just these tools. So I'll tell you guys, Kelly was charging session by session and overbooking herself and killing herself trying to break this because she's just charging session by session and she's running out of time and she's missing time with her 2 kids. And so we changed that and she had the same fears. Well, the other, you know, I used to work for a dentist and the other myofunctional therapists in town don't charge us, charge less than me. And what do I do? There's always people for somebody, right? And as soon as she started doing this, here we are, right? Okay, so in my world, for me, when I was growing this, once I knew I was getting consistent referrals along with income, I knew I wanted to scale. So I hired an associate of my own in 2019 to be able to see more people and earn more income. So as you get busier and busier, and as you start reaching your thresholds, okay, you don't have to tap out, right? You can hire an associate of your own. You can raise your prices. There's things you can do to not necessarily have to work more to make more. Okay. You can get to a certain level, then you can hire an admin assistant for 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, and they can make your phone calls. So you can work less on that side and practice and focus more on the patient side, right? So I priced our programs on a tiered pricing structure based on our experience. So I was the I was the highest paid, and then the associate was, about $500-600 less than me. So patients had a choice. Worked for about 6 months, saw my practice grow up to 20,000 on a good month, but I wasn't quite breaking that 20,000 consistently. So what did I do to take it to that next step? I started working with a business coach. Okay. I started working with a business coach. You want to get somewhere quickly, work with somebody who knows all the shortcuts. All right. Invest your money in someone who wants you to win just as much as you do. You can take all the courses all day long. And the reality is, if they're just willing to take your money but not actually help you get to success, then like, what are we doing? Right? What are we doing? Like, my job in the Business Being a Boss program, my boss as a business coach now, is helping people get to success, right? I don't let people not get there. I work with people beyond what I say sometimes, uh, because I really want them to be successful and I really want to give them everything I've got to get them there. And, that's why we do have so many successful people. So you want to invest your money in someone who wants you to win just as much as you do, not somebody who's just going to take your money and never answer your emails or your Facebook messages or whatever, right? Because they're too busy. Um, you want to you want the really truly the support that comes alongside of it. Okay. Here's a lesson. Here's a lesson I learned. Don't use a tiered pricing structure, all right? Or at least one with too many options, okay? When we have too many offers out there, we're like, well, if you want to do 6 sessions at this, if you want to do 12 sessions at this, you want to do a year at this, or if you want to work with my associate, it's confusing for people, right? So option A, option B, or even just option A, right? Make it clear to your client how you can help them. And we dive into that a lot in like my sales workshop, okay? Is, really you're the guide and your client is they're the star, right? They're the star of the show. They're the ones that you're trying to help. And so you need to position yourself as the guide and not the main character. Okay, the main character energy needs to be saved for the people who are giving you money. Stay consistent with your referral reach outs. This is the number one drop off I see in most therapists who really start to be doing super well, and then they're like, they drop off, okay? Or they have a big month and then they drop. And that is because they're not nurturing their referral relationships and maintaining them. They've dropped off referrals and cookies one time, they like dropped them and like ran away, right? Or they maybe did like a lunch and learn and they never followed up again. So if we're not consistent and we're not at the top of people's minds, right? If we're not at the top of people's minds, then they're not going to remember to refer to us. So we have to make friends, we have to nurture, we have to maintain our referral relationships, and then we also have to close those referral loops. I can't remember if I put that in here, so I'm just going to throw this out here now. And if I do, well, I'll just pretend like I didn't already throw this out there. You have to close your loops. Okay, you cannot just give referral cards or say, hey, refer to my practice without actually closing the loop, right? It's, hey, here's how to work with us, here's how to refer to us. Don't just hand out the cards, right? Please fill this out. Because if they're just handing out your information, but you're never getting that back, patients go get in the car, they throw it on their passenger seat and they forget about it, or it falls under it, they lose it in their purse, whatever it is. And these doctors or these people are like, oh my gosh, I've been sending so many people to you. Have they called you? And you're like, no, you haven't. They're like, yeah, I've been handing out your info. And you're like, okay, but you haven't been sending me people's info, right? And so people don't actually come to you because there's not a closed referral loop. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Then this is actually where we start getting into some self-belief, you guys. This is where it's not so much about the strategy anymore as it is actually believing it's possible. Okay. So you have to believe that you are capable and worth making the amount of money that you want to make. You have to not sabotage and block yourself. Okay. That's where we need to really be able to believe that it's possible. Okay. Because it is. How do you believe that it's possible? Oh, I have that in there. Okay. How do you believe that it's possible? You find examples and you find people that have done it. So you can look to me, you can look into my practice, you can look at any of the other hygienists that I'm showing you today. You can look, you can find success everywhere, right? All right, right? So also, you have to be the guide, not the shiny object. Your client must have the main character energy, not you, right? I jumped into this early. Sorry, you guys. Clearly, I feel really passionate about it, right? Selling is of service. If you've been on any sales workshop before, you have heard that or some version of it. You may have heard you're doing a disservice by not offering to sell what you have to offer to people, and keeping your magic to yourself is actually kind of selfish. People need your gifts. Don't hog it for yourself. It is important to know the difference between sharing your gift and making your gift a shiny object. When the focus is on your service and not on the person who needs it, there will be a disconnect. You're the Dumbledore, not the Harry Potter. Okay? All right. So, tip number 15, how to really get, this is where we're diving in 22 to 33. Okay, this was a big leap for me. This is where I really went over the top. So, taking a risk and investing in a mastermind session with your coach, whether it's one-on-one or at a retreat, taking myself out of my day-to-day and actually going somewhere to focus solely on my business was huge. That's where I created Not Just a Mom, was getting out of my day-to-day, getting out of all of my responsibilities and really being able to dream. So getting with that person, getting in their energy, absorbing it, and really masterminding was huge for me. Start working on your inner beliefs. All right. Again, some of this is no longer strategy. It's actually believing that it's possible for you. Getting through these, oh, that could never be me. Oh, I could never do that. That would be crazy, right? I don't deserve that kind of money. I don't deserve to do this. What would I even do, right? The limiting beliefs that you can't make more money in your business, you got to get rid of them. You absolutely got to get rid of them. Journaling. I'm a huge journaler. I have 4 journals within arm's reach, literally right here. Okay. What do you want? Is there anything inside of you that says you can't have it? Why not? Prove it's a lie. Journaling is huge. I know it sounds so lame. I mean, unless you really are a journaler and you've already bought into it, but getting out of your head and stopping overthinking and stopping yourself from spiraling is a game changer. Okay. All right. Right. All right. What are other ways you can help people and bring value to your business? What are some new offers you can create? What are some new ideas you have? New courses you can teach? Can you teach people about what you do so they can do it too? Right? This is where you guys are seeing, this is where the business of being a boss was born, right? Diversifying. Okay. Know how you're going to present your new offers. Entry level, mid level, high end, have a funnel that you can move people through, right? Having processes in place are huge. Knowing how people move through your business and how you sell, that'll help you from feeling overwhelmed. Okay. Have a marketing plan and a strategy. Know who you're going to show up every day on social media. Know how you're going to show up every week. Don't just do things by the seat of your pants and throw spaghetti at the wall. Okay. The spaghetti on the wall marketing never works. It leaves you frustrated. It makes you feel like you spent a ton of money on things that you didn't even know you needed or didn't need, right? All right, Kristen, I'm a new mom trying to transition from clinical hygiene to my own myofunctional therapy practice that allow me more flexibility in motherhood. This boot camp has given me the confidence that I can actually make this happen, has provided me with a game plan to help accomplish these goals. Thank you for being you, Megan. You're welcome. I so appreciate all of your support during this phase of life. Kristen gave birth right before she started boot camp. She's like, I'll use my maternity leave and jump in. So sometimes her baby was on. He was so cute. We loved it. We love babies. Okay, so here's the big one. How to make the really big leap. All right. So don't make your offers evergreen. Okay. Put a date on when the offer ends and stay firm. You can always launch it again later. So when you're putting out treatment plans, right, you're like, hey, you can work with me, and they're like, they take the quote and they leave, which 99% of our people don't do that. They teach you why they don't do that and how not to do that. But the 1% that squeak through, right? And they think it's just this open-ended offer. Well, they can just work with you whenever. No, we've got to create a sense of urgency. We've got to create a sense of scarcity. We've got to create a sense that they need this now. The quote's only good for 30 days. Whatever it is, to where there is a time frame in which people need to work with you. All right. You can also look at creating an offer in your business that brings in monthly recurring revenue. So maybe you host a monthly workshop that people pay for, or a membership, or people pay you monthly for things versus one time. So that way you always know that more is, have a baseline of what is coming in every single month. Okay. Create free trainings that give value to people so they want to buy from you. All right. Kind of what we're doing here, right? I'm giving you all my best stuff. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to, give to you. And you get to take this for free. I'm not charging you for it, obviously. You're here, you get to just listen and take what you want and leave what you don't want. And I'm just happy to get to meet you today, right? So give away free trainings if people want to work with you, right? You could also host an event or a retreat that brings people together, teach them how you got to where you are, every single detail, all of the hows, not just the whats. I'm really big on the hows. I think if you're just constantly teaching the what, I think it's bullshit and you're doing people a disservice. Um, and I think it's super fake and not fair and just not cool. So it's all about the hows, right? It's all about the hows. And then be generous, but also protective of your time and energy. Give freely and ask privately, but if someone isn't going to invest in the time with you that you give them, then it's okay to not let them take advantage of your time, right? So people who maybe are in your social media or who, they did like a free consult with you and then they're like constantly calling or texting or emailing me and like, whoa, well, I have more questions about this. I have more questions with that. It's okay to say, hey, you know, thank you so much. Here's the ways you can work with me, right? Don't let people be time and energy sucks for you because you do have a business to run and you do have money to make. So those are the big things. So you may be feeling, mind blown. You may be feeling overwhelmed, whatever you want to interpret from this picture. I think it's supposed to be a GIF, so that's my bad. I think I downloaded this as a PDF, so it's all right. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? But truly, I want you guys to imagine, right? You make your first 10K in your business. You make your first 20K in your business. You get to take your family on the vacation you've always dreamed. You double or triple your business revenue without doubling your time. You get to go to your kids' activities in the middle of the day and the business still runs. Your husband gets to leave his job and change jobs that fills his or changes jobs that fills his passions as well. We've had a bunch do that, which has been cool. You don't have to pick between taking care of yourself and anyone else's needs. You no longer live in fear or doubt that it's not going to work. All right, how do we actually do this? Okay, I told you we're gonna have some hows, okay? Well, actually, I just gave you 25 hows, but we're gonna do some more hows, all right? So here's where we have two options, okay? You can do it alone, or you can do it with a mentor and a community to support you. So here's what I have for you, all right? Here is everything that I've gotten. I've added some more. We've got some fun stuff. So we've got opportunities to have 75 minutes live with me to answer questions and hot seats to help problem solve anything in your business. So live monthly Q&As. We've got a Dropbox of templates. So all the paperwork I've used in my business for patients, for referrals, for marketing, rack cards, referrals, education materials, everything you could possibly need. We have templates pre-created for you that everybody has taken and used as their own. We've got a systems audit and set up with me, so a 60-minute session where I walk you through the setup of your business to create systems of ease and flow. So you feel like, you're like, oh, everything feels clunky. I don't know how to get things from start to finish. We set up your business, we create your flow, we make sure that everything goes through like it's supposed to, Stripe, Simple Practice, all these things, we work you through it, okay? We've got an extra Unleash Your Inner Badass training with my friend Kevin that everybody just loved so much, so we're including it. You get access to our Mommy Collective, which is our group, so you get group community support. We have a 6-month planner. It's a really in-depth planner that it has everything that you could possibly need in it. So affirmations, business tips, organization, journaling. It's journaling and planner. It's got it all for you. Okay. We also have sales recordings. So me doing comprehensive consultations, you actually get access to watch me do consultations live to see how I convert the patients. So you can learn how I convert on the call. We have 8 years worth of recordings of my clients. So over 8 years of me working with my patients and consultations, free assessments, actual live therapy sessions. You have access to a full Dropbox of 8 years worth of recording of that. And that is all a part of all the bonuses included in the Business of Being a Boss program. So what comes in the course beyond the goodies, all right, beyond the bonuses here, it's 12 weeks, all right, divided into 3 phases: the foundation, mindset, implementation, and growth. And we're going to start with how we actually make money. All right. Here's what you get. You get done for you referral partner creation logs. We get done for you sales scripts, done for you sales objections templates. So you know what to like say when people say, now's not the right time. It's too much money. I need to talk to my partner. Let me think about it. We talk about that a ton. Okay. We're going to talk about money management and money beliefs and money blocks, overcoming imposter syndrome. 2 out of 3 women struggle with imposter syndrome, 67% of women. All right, it's huge. It's even worse for entrepreneurs. Okay. How to become an implementer and not a one day type of person, how to actually implement and make this work. You get live coaching calls with me every single week. You get access to our community to connect and get questions answered in between each call. It's a lot. You get a 28-day sales slump slasher blueprint. So this is a done for you. So what I did is if I wanted to go generate 10 to 20,000 in my sales, I made an every single day map and blueprint for you. Step by step, what I would do every single day for 28 days. And we actually have a contest. We have a full contest. The winner, there's a grand prize package for the winner. They get free coaching and a bunch of like fun stuff and all sorts of good things. Um, we've had 3 amazing winners, and yeah, everybody competes pretty hard for this one. But this is something you can use over and over and over again. We have people who redo, we call it the gauntlet. So we have people who redo the gauntlet to generate more sales, and it has generated. I'd have to go back and add everybody's up, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's generated almost 500,000 between all of the boot campers. So at least 250,000, which is really, really cool. So an overview of everything we're going to go through. Okay, part 1, the foundation, how to create and maintain the referral network. First thing out the door, getting patients in your door. Get the patients in your door. We're going to get them in from week 1. Okay. Then we're going to talk about how to close the sale, how to convert your treatment plans, how to handle objections. Then we're going to jump into the bonus of how to set up the systems with us, business with live with me. Okay, then we're going to jump into the mindset. So getting into attracting the right patients and the right clients, getting through our limiting beliefs in our business, talking about money and money blocks and how to money plan for your business. Then we're going to jump into our unleash our inner badass, right, and mindset. And then we're going to scale and grow our business. We got to prep for the gauntlet. That needs a whole week to prep for. We're going to go through marketing strategies and growth. And we're going to launch the gauntlet plus our bonuses. We're going to do our weekly or our monthly live Q&As with me to answer any of your questions and do the hot seats. All right. So here's the thing. There's nothing vague here. It is step by step with every secret unlocked. It's like, honestly, I always say it's like living in my home for 12 weeks. And people really do feel that. They feel like it is. No stone is left unturned. I answer any question that you have. There's no question too small or too big or too crazy. We answer it all. Okay. We've got Tiffany, and Tiffany is a mother and a wife in a cute little town with my husband, our pony, goats, and chickens, registered hygienist, started myofunctional business a year ago, but was having a lot of anxiety and trouble with the business side of things. Since taking Megan's course, it has given me the tools to face my fears and jump in. Found my first paying patient, paid in full, already on our second therapy session. I've been able to have the courage to talk with doctors and offices about what I do with confidence. I loved having Megan support her model of business success and her calming, reassuring voice. It's all about ease. Take her business course is the best thing I did for my business and myself. Yes, even if you haven't had a patient yet, we help you get your first patient. So we do it all. We do it all. All right, you guys. So here's everything that's included and all the values, right? This is Being a Boss program, 1997, but all of the values underneath adds up to over almost $100,000 worth of bonuses and value here. Okay. So we do have 2 options, the 1997 for pay in full, or we have payment plan options available. The 1997 is nice because you can use Affirm and you can look at 6 months 0 interest by using Affirm, which is really awesome. So this is for you if you are ready to make money in your business, if you're ready to create the business of your dreams, and if you're ready to create the life of your dreams. I'm going to open the floor for some questions. I do have an FAQ to go through with you guys, but also want to answer any of your questions. Because you guys are here live on the call, we are offering for the next 24 hours, we are offering 20% off when you use the code BBB20. All right, I'm going to put these in the chat for you guys so it's a lot easier. Okay. All right. And I'd love to know if you guys have questions. I'll go through the FAQ too. But here is that plus the 20% off code for anybody who signs up. We'd love to have you. If you want the payment plan code, I will give you that as well. Fantastic. All right, so here's some of our other boot campers. I've loved working with Business Bootcamp and Megan. In the first month, I was able to increase my income 3 times, doubled each month thereafter. Best investment, right? My name's Jill. I'm busy mom, working full-time as an dental hygienist, part-time as a myofunctional therapist, 2 active boys. I signed up to Business Bootcamp to gain confidence in myself, to meet new providers and grow in myofunctional therapy practice, have a better work-life balance. During this class, I was expecting to learn more about strengthening my business, which I did, but I wasn't expecting such a wonderful community of working women coming together to be each other's biggest supporters. Oh yeah. All the groups that I've gone through so far have like stayed in their own Facebook group chats and have been like the most supportive communities that they could have ever asked for. So wife and mother owns a retail store and also runs her own successful myofunctional therapy practice. Bootcamp helped motivate me to work on ways to build my business and feel confident in my pricing. A mom who lives in Renton with 2 kids and a business owner, Bootcamp has taken my day-to-day operations of my small business and streamlined them so I can focus on building and growing my business while seeing clients. Business owner from Pennsylvania, more confidence in selling what I do with passion, attracting clients that appreciate my work and time, pushing me to do more with my business and not be afraid to fail. And actually, she is leaving hygiene in July, which is amazing. So, questions and answers. How do I know this will work for me? I mean, that's a pretty big one that everybody wants to ask, of course. I've been where you are. This is everything that I have worked through and spent 6 figures of coachings and trainings and everything, lots of investing over the last 8 years to know and to go through. And so this is this is my business baby. This is everything I have learned and implemented and taken to be able to do this. So again, there's no secrets. I don't hold anything back. I don't believe in scarcity mindset. So the big thing is really being able to show you, is being able to hold your hand. And I don't let you go without having success. Okay. What if you need more help? We've got our supportive community. You're always able to email me questions, and you post questions in our community. I answer them. I'm always in the Facebook group. You have full access to me for 12 weeks. Okay. What if I don't reach my goals? I'm not gonna lie, we have yet to have somebody do that. But if we don't reach our goals, then what we do is a 30-minute meeting, a 30-minute one-on-one with me after you have finished boot camp, or even in between. If you're really struggling during, you're always welcome to set up a 30-minute one-on-one with me to talk through where our pitfalls are, where we feel like we're not quite at. And then we help you create a plan to help you reach your goals. So I still stand beside you and help you throughout the course. Okay. I think everybody here has a business. If you don't already have a business and you need to get started, I do have a business basics bundle. That might be a better place to start for you. But if you have the startings of a business, even if you don't have your first patient yet, we absolutely, as you saw, Tiffany Rels had Rachel one round who hadn't had her first patient yet, who got 3 during business boot camp. We can help you get that started as well. Sessions are live, but you have access to the recordings. You have lifetime access to the recordings. We meet live on Mondays, and yeah, it's a great way to start the week. I like to start on Mondays to get people into it and really get people excited. So there will be replays of the session you missed. You have full access. If you need extra support, you reach out and you just let me know, and we are here to support you during those 12 weeks together. Now, the Business Meeting Boss program launches again June 10th. So Monday, June 10th, we launch again. Usually meet on Mondays at 4:30 Pacific time, because again, so it's not too late for the East Coasters. So we have had people who prefer just to come into the Facebook group and participate more there and watch the recordings. And then, I assist them throughout if they're not able to be there. And that's what the live Q&As are there for as well. So people who can't always be there during the live sessions, we have those bonus Q&As. That way you can come on and you are able to ask your questions if you can't be there live every week. So that is everything I have for you guys today. I would love to know, I would love to know your questions. I'd love to know how we can help. Yes, Tiffany, if I were to sign up now but don't need the coaching at this time, can I start the coaching in the future but utilize other materials? What? Yes. Yes, because you have lifetime access for that. You can email me or you can message me too. You can message me on Facebook. Um, but yeah, you'll have access to everything. If you're not there live, you still get access to everything we got in the group and whatever you might need. So I'm happy to help with any of that utilization. We'd be love to have you and love to get you connected with everybody in the group as well. So um, I hope that answer your question. You can message me from on Facebook too if you have more questions. So any other questions? Anybody gonna jump in and take this extra 20% that we've got for the next 24 hours? Oh yes, Tiffany, go to bed. Message me tomorrow. I know you're 3 or 4 hours ahead of me, I think, at this point. So yeah, you go to bed. We've got you. And we definitely will be chatting. Beautiful. Well, I will tell you guys, now's the perfect time. You've got me live. And if you're still here, you've got me live to answer any questions. I'm happy to, whether it's about boot camp or anything else in general, I'm happy to stay on for 10 to 15 minutes and just answer any business questions you have, any questions you have about myofunctional therapy. You've got me for about 15 minutes. Just open the floor. Does anybody have any questions they'd like answered? Anything they're going through or experiencing right now? It's okay if you don't. Oh, Samantha, you want the link for the intro bundle? I can email it to you. What's your email? Just the business basic bundle? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. What's your email? I'll send it to you. Perfect. Happy to send that. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, you guys, if you have any at all that you wish you would have asked while were here, I'm happy to answer them. You'll also get emailed. The replay, and then anybody who wants to sign up with us, we would be happy to have you join us. And if you need us in the future, just let me know. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natalia. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Camille. We will be in touch. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.